exactly linear polarization. How do you get part C? Ex naught is not equal to 0, Ey naught is not equal to 0. That means there are both x and y components. But delta phi will be n pi 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, what does it mean? So that means n pi means 0, 180, 360 like that. Okay, so if this is the x component, x axis, and this is the y axis, Ey can be here in this direction or in this direction, because 0 and 180 degrees are allowed. Similarly, Ex can be in this direction or this direction. So when that is the case, what will be the vector? Suppose this is Ex naught. Okay, this value is Ex naught. Okay, Ex naught. This is the value of Ey naught. So how do you get total resultant electric field? You just take vector, add it vectorially. So electric field will lie along this line. Electric field will lie along this line, like this. So it will move from this point to this point, or it can be like this. If Ey is negative, it can be like this in this direction. Okay, it can move up like this. Have you understood? That is when both Ex and Ey components are present. Have you understood this? Have you understood this? Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
This is also a linear polarization, because why? The electric field orients along this line or this line. Both are straight lines. So these three are cases of linear polarization. These three cases are, so instantaneous value of electric field will lie between these two limits, between this limit or this limit, or this limit to this limit. And it always traces this line, electric field. It always lies on this line or this line. So have you understood? So this is a case of linear polarization. All these three cases are cases of linear polarization. Have you understood? So have you understood what is meant by polarization now? Have you understood what is polarization?
Yes, sir.
And these three cases are examples of linear polarization. Okay. So have you understood the previous equation and these equations, the previous slide, this slide as well as this one? Have you understood both these slides? Here we are considering wave traveling in the positive z direction, having only x and y components of electric field. Wave traveling in the positive z direction. So at some fixed z, we are just tracing the electric field at different instant of time. Okay, have you understood this? This and previous slide.
Yes, sir.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, we understood.
Okay, I think the strength of the class is very less today. I don't really hear much response. The usual response is not coming, which was to come earlier. Okay, now circular polarization. Now what is the condition for circular polarization? Ex naught is equal to Ey naught. Okay, and delta phi. What is delta phi? The phase difference between x component and y component. Okay, y component is ahead of x component by delta phi. In terms of phase, y component is ahead of the x component in terms of delta phi. So delta phi should be plus or minus half n pi. So that means pi by 2. N is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. So if it is plus, you will get clockwise rotation. If it is minus, counterclockwise rotation. So for circular polarization, the instantaneous value of electric field will trace a circle. Instantaneous value of electric field will trace a circle. Have you got it? Yesterday I showed you in one of the slides. See, like this. This is Ex component. The instantaneous value will move like this. If it is clockwise, if it is counterclockwise, it will move in this direction. So what is the condition? Has been, I have told you what is the condition, delta phi. It should be half plus n into pi by 2. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
So any questions? So there can be either, so here the amplitude is always constant. Amplitude of the instantaneous amplitude is always constant because this one is 90 degree apart from this. So sin square omega t plus cos square omega t, that adds up to 1, and Ex and Ey are Ex naught and Ey naught are equal. So it will, the instantaneous value will be a circle, will lie on the circle. Okay, but the direction of rotation is dependent on the whether it is plus 90 degrees or minus 90 degrees. So this is a case of circular polarization. What do we do is, here we keep z fixed, z is equal to constant. This is the z is equal to constant plane. Z is equal to constant, and we plot electric field as a function of time at different instant of time. So this is the trace of electric field at different instances of time. See, at z is equal to, we keep z is equal to constant. Wave is propagating in the z direction, it has x component and y component. Wave is propagating in the z direction. Wave is propagating in the z direction, it has x component and y component. The magnitude are equal and there is a phase difference of 90 degrees. So this plots, this trace is the instantaneous amplitude of the electric field. And the direction of rotation depends on the phase difference, whether it is plus 90 degrees or minus 90 degrees. So is it clear? Circular polarization. Hello?
Yes.
So linear polarization I have explained circular polarization. And then if Ex naught and Ey naught are not equal, okay, and delta phi is plus or minus n pi, okay, then we get elliptical polarization. And there is another case for elliptical polarization. Ex naught is equal to Ey naught, delta phi plus or minus half plus n into pi. Okay, so here instead of circle, the instantaneous amplitude will trace an ellipse. Because so you have a minor axis and major axis. So we are not going to study much in detail about this, not required. But I hope you understood what is polarization, what is meant by linear polarization, what is circular polarization and elliptical polarization. The trace of circular polarization is like this. Let me see if it is there. Say trace of elliptical polarization. Trace of elliptical polarization is like this. Okay, here because Ex naught and Ey naught are not equal in magnitude. So I hope all of you have understood polarization. So I can go to the next topic. I am not going to cover much more details because it is not required for you. If you understand this much, I think it is enough. Although it has the more details are given in the slide, I am not going to cover that. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we will go to polarization loss factor. Polarization loss factor. I said antenna has a polarization and the wave has a polarization. Wave polarization can be linear, circular, or elliptical. Antenna polarization, there can be antenna may be polarized in the z direction, y direction, x direction, like that. Okay, for example, a dipole antenna can be in the z. So there is a polarization for the antenna as well as polarization for the wave. Polarization of the wave means polarization of the electric field. Polarization of the wave means polarization of the electric field. If electric field and the antenna polarization are same, then you get maximum induced voltage. Yesterday I explained V is equal to E into L. Okay. Yesterday I explained V is equal to E into L. That is possible when both are aligned in the same direction, or both antenna as well as the L represents polarization of the refers to the L refers to the antenna. So so antenna polarization as well as electric wave polarization are both important. Okay, so if both are aligned, they are parallel, you will have higher amount of induced voltage. So if it is not parallel, we'll see what happens. PLF is equal to, what is this? What does it mean? Rho W hat plus rho A hat. What does it mean? Rho W hat is polarization of the wave. It is a unit vector. That's why it is given as hat. It is a unit vector. So it is a unit vector. Rho W hat is a unit vector, and rho A hat is also a unit vector, rho A hat. So this represents polarization of the antenna. This represents polarization of the wave. As I said, polarization of the wave represents the polarization of the electric field. So the phase angle between these two, so dot product, these are unit vectors. So dot product will give the psi p, the phase difference between the angle between rho W and rho A. Rho A W hat and rho A hat is psi p. So this dot product will give, because this product of these are unit vectors, so you will get only cos WP whole square. Why whole square? Magnitude square. Why magnitude square?
Having a loss factor that is negative is meaningless.
No, see, because this represents rho W product of so since power is square of electric field, we have to take cos phi p square, magnitude of cos phi p square. All of you understood this? You have to take power is square of electric field. So that's why you have to take magnitude of cos phi p square. Okay, is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yeah, yes, when phi p, this psi p is 0, you have no loss. That means PLF is equal to 1. When psi p is equal to 0, that means rho W and rho A are aligned each without any in the same direction, aligned in the same direction. So polarization determined in the transmitting incident wave, polarization determined the direction of the wave travel. Okay. So polarization can lie between 0 to 1. Polarization loss factor can lie between 0 to 1. Is it understood? So PLF in dB is 10 log 10 of rho W hat dot rho A hat magnitude square is equal to this one. So have you understood this? So PLF lies between minus infinity to 0 dB, less than or equal PLF in dB. PLF in dB. So is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here you see, this is rho A, this is rho W, this is psi p. Okay. Antenna polarization. So you remember this equation? So okay, we will see now next some numericals on this. So this we can leave. Polarization efficiency, we are not okay, we'll leave this. Okay, find the polarization loss factor for this case. Find, this is the problem, this is a problem given to you. This is EW wave incident wave. This is EA. EA is polarization of the antenna, electric field of the antenna. So how do you find out this? So you note down this, EWI is given like this, EA is, so this here he has given the polarization of the electric field of the transmitting antenna, same as polarization of the antenna, same as polarization of the antenna. So you note down this problem, we will solve it. Wave incident is e raised to the power of, it is given like this. Okay, now you have to find the polarization loss factor. Can I go to the next slide? Any questions? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
No question, sir.
Oh, okay. So you know, now find, how do you find rho A? EA is given, EA, okay. You have to find the unit vector corresponding to EA. What is that unit vector corresponding to EA? So you see, so this is the unit vector corresponding to EA. Magnitude of, see, how do you get unit vector? Vector divided by magnitude of the vector. You treat this as the vector, divide by the magnitude of vector. You do that, this will cancel off, this will cancel off, this part will cancel out. AX hat plus AY hat divided by magnitude of this AX hat and AY hat. That is square root of 1 plus 1, that is root 2. So rho W is equal to, sorry, rho A will be AX hat plus AY hat by root 2. Have you got this? Have you got this rho A from EA? From EA, have you got rho A? Rho A hat.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So rho W, you see the previous slide, rho W hat, the wave is in the x direction. This is in the x direction. So rho W hat will be AX hat. So PLF is this, rho W hat dot rho A hat magnitude square. So AX hat dot this rho A. Rho A is this. So it is equal to half. So polarization loss factor is half, 10 log 10 of half is minus 3 dB. So half the power is wasted. Do you get it? Half the power is wasted. Because of alignment problem, because of polarization mismatch, because of polarization mismatch, there will be a half the power is lost. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, any questions? So that's why sometimes we need to align the antenna to get maximum signal strength. Basically to align the polarization of the antenna with respect to the polarization of the wave. If they are not matched properly, then you can have very poor reception. So a poor reception means signal quality will be very low. The noise becomes competent with the signal strength. So the quality of transmission will be less. If the polarization mismatch is there, the signal strength will be very less because a lot of power is lost. So signal strength will be less. So noise power becomes more competent compared to higher signal strength. So that's why the quality of reception will be less. So if you want a better quality, you have to align the antenna with the wave. Align means that turning it this way, that way, like that sometimes. Okay, next example. You solve this. Next example. So EA is example. EA is given like this. So you see how to find rho A. Just go have a look at this slide. All of you understood, no? How to find rho A from EA. Rho A hat from EA hat. So you divide you divide this vector by the magnitude of the vector. This term will fully cancel out. So divided by magnitude of this part. So 1 square plus magnitude of minus j square will be 1. So again root 2 here. Have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Minus j square is 1.
So why the extra root 2? Excuse me, sir.
Yes. You don't consider. You tell do what I said. You can get this. No. He might have used to convert RMS value or no. I don't think RMS. So I think this is wrong here. What he has done. So no, he has to. You follow what I said. Okay. You divide this vector by the magnitude of the vector. This will cancel out. So magnitude of this part is 1 square plus minus j square. So any questions?
Sir,
Hmm.
what is EW for this example?
Okay, it is not given. It has to yet to come. So the problem is given in the textbook. So I not got the textbook here. So in the textbook, I think he has mentioned what is EW, and accordingly he has taken EW as a theta plus j phi under root. So in the textbook, he might have given what is EW rho w hat. So this is example problem of the textbook. Sorry. So example 2.12. If you have the textbook, you can open and see. Yeah, okay. Can we go to the polarization loss factor? Here is 0 dB, no loss. Polarization loss factor is 0 dB, no loss. I hope all of you know how to do the dot product. Okay.
Sir, wouldn't it be 2 by root 2 whole square?
Now root 2 and root 2 are getting multiplied here, no?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can I go to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
So all of you have understood polarization loss factor. So you have to find the polarization of the wave. You have to find the polarization of the antenna, do dot product, take magnitude squared. Okay, to find the polarization loss factor. To convert into dB, you take 10 log of this number. So this is for aperture antennas. So if the aperture is aligned like this, then you have this. Here the apertures are aligned fully properly. So this is 1 rho A into rho W. Rho A dot rho W whole square is equal to 1. If it is rotated, if it is not aligned, then you have psi p, non-zero value of psi p. So that is cos square. So you will get PLF. If it is totally mismatched, that is 90 degrees. Psi p is this is 0. So no power is coupled. No power is coupled. Orthogonal. This is rotated. This is aligned. So can I go to the next slide? So this is for the linear antenna, linear wire antennas. Rho W is equal to 1, cos square phi p, this is equal to 0 when they are in 90 degree apart, 90 degree this thing aligned, orthogonal. Can I go to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
So what is the strength today? Class strength. I'm not hearing many responses today. Huh? So 212, okay, good. So polarization factor is done. Is it okay? All of you are thorough with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now input impedance. So we have this generator, which is a AC source feeding the antenna through the transmission line. Okay, this is a radiated wave. So generator having an internal impedance ZG, generator impedance, internal impedance. It is feeding an antenna through a transmission line. For the sake of simplifying, we'll assume that transmission line is just a extension, short circuit, a small wire extending generator, so with no loss, nothing. Just generator is connected to the antenna straight away. We'll assume like that. So the wave, this is the radiated wave, direction of propagation of the radiation wave. Okay, now this part is the antenna. This part is the antenna. This part is the generator. Okay, this part is the antenna. This part is the generator. Just give me 1 minute break. Okay. Now you see a circuit, a closed loop. Now this is the voltage source. So AC voltage source. This is the internal impedance of the generator, RG plus XG. Okay. So in the antenna side, what do we have? RL. RL is what? It represents a loss resistor. What it comprises of? It is contributing to the conduction dielectric loss. We have heard of, in the last class, we have heard of conduction dielectric loss. So RL contributes for that. Now the conduction dielectric loss, see a resistive net in the circuit, in electric circuits, if a resistance will contribute for the loss. So we have added a resistance to account for the loss, conduction dielectric loss. And there is an inductance XA due to the wire of the antenna, the metallic part. And there is one RR. Now what is this RR? This RR is called the radiation resistance. Now radiation resistance, this is a fictitious resistance. This is not present actually. It represents the outward power flow from the antenna. Radiation resistance is used to account for, radiation resistance is used to account for the outward power flow from the antenna. See, power flow is nothing but as far as this circuit is, it is a loss power flow. So that power flow, to account for the power flow, we have RR. So there is a closed loop. So IG is the generator current. IG is the generator current. So it flows through this loop, RL, RR, XA, and so on. Is this clear? This is called the Thevenin's equivalent of the previous slide. Thevenin's is equivalent of this. Have you understood? Assuming that transmission line is not there, transmission, we ignore the transmission line, just see the generator and the antenna. Have you understood this circuit? Thevenin's equivalent. Hello? Yes? I didn't hear.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. So Norton's equivalent. Instead of representing by voltage, if you represent by current, you get Norton equivalent. Up to you if you want to use this, it's okay. If you don't, it's a simple representation. Use IG dash represent the short circuit current, and these susceptance and admittance, all those things. Okay. Conductance, susceptance, Norton equivalent. They are parallel, all parallel. Okay. We don't have to bother about this. It's not required for us. It is another way of representing. If you want to represent the IG dash is the short circuit current. Okay. Now ZA, antenna impedance is RA plus JXA, RL plus RR plus JXA. Have you understood? ZA antenna impedance is RA plus JXA, RL plus RR plus JXA. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And ZG,
Yes, sir.
ZG is RG plus JXG, RG plus JXG. So IG is VG by ZT total generator current for the Thevenin's equivalent. IG is generator current is VG by Z total, VG by ZA plus ZG. So this is the expression. So magnitude of IG is magnitude of VG divided by this. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Power radiated by the antenna is, how do you get power radiated by the antenna? Half IG square into RR. Why 2 half? Why half has come here?
So because we are taking RMS value.
Yeah. So don't think that IG is DC. It is not DC, okay? Here this is magnitude of IG square by 2. So because we have to take RMS value, I RMS into RR is the power. Okay, real. So this one, so IG square by 2 into RR. So this represents the radiated power because RR represents the radiation resistance. Power dissipated by the antenna, PL, is half IG square into RL. Power dissipated by the generator, half IG square into RG. These reactances doesn't consume power, real power. Okay, they are reactive powers. So which is not necessary to find out. Okay, have you understood this slide?
Yes, sir.
So what this power, sum of this power will be equal to sum of PR, PL, PG. What it will be equal to? Sum of PR, PL, PG.
Total real power of generator.
Yes. So total real power of generator. So, okay, we'll see that later. RA is a resistance part of the antenna impedance, antenna input impedance. RA is RR plus RL. For maximum power delivered for radiation and dissipation. Maximum power delivered is when this one RA is equal to RG and XA is equal to minus XG. You know, conjugate matching, maximum power transfer theorem. I hope you know, right? Right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So power supplied by the generator, half VG into IG star. Half VG into IG star. So under conjugate matching, VG and IG will be in same phase. So half, actually real power is what? Half into real part of VG into IG star. But under conjugate matching, VG and IG will have same phase. Real power is actually half into real part of VG IG square, like how we had half real part of E cross H star. Real part of power supplied will be half into real part of VG IG square. But under conjugate matching, IG phase of IG and VG will be same. So this will be this much and this will be this much. So can you understand this equation? Just derive and see if you have doubt. Under conjugate matching, just derive and see. I'll give you 1 minute time. You know what condition applies for conjugate matching? RL plus RR is equal to RG. So all of you have understood this? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. Therefore, 1/2 of the power supplied by PS. So maximum power supply is dissipated as heat by RG. So 1/2 of the power supplied by the generator is dissipated as heat by R. The other 1/2 is delivered to the antenna for dissipation and radiation. Other half comprises of two parts. One is the decibel loss and other one is the radiation. Okay, so half the power is lost in the generator resistance under maximum power transfer. Under maximum power transfer, half the power is dissipated in the generator resistance and other half has two parts. One is this loss part and one is the radiation part. So have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you just go through these equations, PR, then PR is equal to this equation under conjugate matching. PL is this equation, PG is this equation. Therefore, since RR plus RL is equal to RG for conjugate matching, PR plus PL is equal to this equation, PG. So just go through this. I'll give you half minute time. This is under conjugate matching. You can verify this. Very simple case. Can I go to the next slide? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Maximum delivered summary. Okay, this all you have seen already. This I don't want to explain. You can go to later. Antennas in the receiving mode. You have the incident wave. This is the antenna, and this is the terminal load. Terminal load. ZT. This is the receiver input impedance. Receiver input impedance. ZT. So this is the antenna transmission line. Again, we assume that the transmission line is not there as good as antenna directly connected to the receiver input. This is the incident wave. Okay, Thevenin's equivalent. This is in the receiving mode. In the receiving, not in the transmitting. Okay, this is in the receiving. This is error here. Thevenin's equivalent, receiving mode. See here, VT. What is the? This is the induced voltage. VT is the induced voltage in the antenna. This is the RL, loss resistance of the antenna. This is the reactance of the antenna. RT is the receiver impedance. RT and XT comprises of receiver input impedance. So IT is the terminal current flowing through the receiver input terminals. Okay. So RR. What is it? Where is the question of RR here? See, IT current flows also through the antenna. Current IT flows through the antenna. So there will be some re-radiated power or scattered power. Re-radiated power through the antenna. So that is IT square, half IT square into RR. That corresponds to the re-radiated power. RR is, it is in the receiving mode, not transmit. This is a mistake here. It is not in the transmitting mode, receiving mode. So there is a re-radiated power. This value, since IT is very small, this re-radiated power or backscattered power is less. Have you got it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So you can derive those equations, whatever you have derived for a transmitter part. It is missing in the slide. So I will just let you know what are those equations. So again, here you can find out what is power delivered to the load, PT, power delivered to the load. What is it? In this case, in the receiving case, it is missing in the slide, but it may be asked as a question in the exam. Because if you want to find out the expression for power delivered to the receiver, so half into IT square, magnitude of IT square into RT. You can see what is IT in what is that in conjugate matching condition. Okay, when a conjugate matching condition, RT should be equal to RL plus RR. Have you got it? Under conjugate matching condition, RT should be equal to RR plus RL and XT should be equal to minus XA. Okay, only 50% efficiency you get. That means whatever power is dissipated is delivered to this receiver, equivalent amount of power is lost in RL and RR. Whatever power under conjugate matching, whatever power you deliver to the receiver, equivalent amount of power is lost with the along around with the at on RL as well as RR. Loss and re-radiated power and lost power will be equal to this power dissipated across RT under conjugate matching. So you can find out what is lost power, what is re-radiated power, what is the power delivered to the load, and what is the captured power. How do you get captured power? Half VT into IT square, IT star, sorry, half VT into IT star. This is missing in the slide. I hope all of you can make it out and derive the equations and keep it aside for your, it may be asked in the exam. I am not showing it in the slide. I hope all of you can do it, no? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So PC collected power, PC is equal to half VT into IT star. Can I go to the next slide? This is in the, so this is a mistake here. It should be receiving. Okay. So antenna radiation efficiency. We have seen overall efficiency is equal to reflection efficiency, conduction efficiency, dielectric efficiency, ER into ECD, 1 minus tau square, magnitude of tau square into ECD. We have seen this. This is called ER. This contributes for ER. So radiation efficiency, power radiated by the antenna. What is radiation? Power radiated by the antenna, power delivered to the antenna. Power delivered to the antenna is the input power to the antenna. It should have two parts. One is radiated power plus loss power. So you know ECD is PR is radiated power half Ig square into RR, and input power is half Ig square RR plus RL. Okay, so this becomes RR plus RR plus RR upon RR plus RL. ECD expression. So all of you got it? This is the expression for ECD. All of you got it? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
If it is a lossless antenna, what is ECD? If it is a lossless antenna, what is ECD?
Should be 1.
Yeah, RL will be 0. So RR by RR, it will be 1. Antenna in the receiving mode. We have just discussed this. Okay. Now, what is RL? RL for DC application, RDC is equal to 1 by rho, you know, rho L by A or 1 by sigma. This is conductivity. Resistivity is rho. So 1 by conductivity is resistivity, rho L by A. This is for DC application. For AC application, the current resides on the surface of the conductor. So current resides on the surface of the conductor. So the AC resistance is given by this equation. So I'm not going to give the proof of this. Perimeter of the cross section, current resides on the surface of the conductor. You can find out. You have the formula for depth of penetration of wave in a conductor. Depth of penetration. You using that equation, you can arrive at RL, R high frequency. Okay. High frequency for DC application, this we can't use DC because we are sending AC to the high frequency AC in the wire of the terminals of antenna. So this the RL part will be decided by this equation. So you have to memorize this. Or you can derive it if you want, if you know the formula for depth of penetration of wave in the conductor, the current will not flow through the entire cross section of the wire through a small depth outer skin effect. It is called skin effect. So if you take use that formula for this, actually A will be not actually the actual A, so it will be something else. So if you apply that formula, then you will get RAC as this high frequency. Okay, this is another a numerical which has been discussed in the textbook. So he has solved it here. Now here you can see RL is taken as 1 by half RHF. This is for lambda by 2 dipole. L is equal to lambda by 2 dipole. He has not taken RL is equal to RHF. He has taken RL is equal to half of RHF. That is because, okay, I can't give you the proof why, because that is why, because in the dipole, the current through the length is not constant. How does the current vary through in a dipole? You have studied in the first chapter, current distribution through linear dipoles. How does it vary? Current distribution?
Sir, it's sinusoidal.
Sinusoidal. For that reason only, RL is half RF. If it is a constant, if it would have a constant, RL would have been RHF. But because it is sinusoidal, I'm not giving the proof of this. You have to take it as it is now. So RL is equal to half RHF. For this kind of problem, if it is asked, you have to take RL is equal to half of RHF. So please go through this problem. L is equal to lambda by 2, RR is 73 ohms. We will derive this this thing, value of RR in one of the chapters later on. But for the time being, for lambda by 2 dipole, you take it as RR as 73 ohms. So sigma is given B. What is B? You have seen in the, what is B? In the previous slide was given. B is not given. What is B? B is the conductor diameter of the wire or something like that, radius of the wire. You have to see the example in the textbook. So I don't know, I think it's radius of the wire or something like that. What is it? 2 pi b. See, circumference is 2 pi b. So it is the radius of the wire. Okay. So RHF is this. So any questions on this slide? You please go to this, is very important. Please go to this slide. He has found out RL and then found out ECD and found out ECD in dB. ECD will be always 0 or less than 0. In dB, ECD will be always 0 or less than 0. Sorry. Yeah, 0 or less than 0. So I can continue for another 8 minutes or so, 8 or 10 minutes, because after that you have the quiz. Okay. Is it fine, this slide, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You know the reason why he has taken half RHF? That is because the current distribution is not constant, uniform. It is sinusoidal. Because of that, RL will be half RHF, which is, I have not discussed the proof of this. It's not now given here now at this point of time. Okay. We'll leave this vector effective length. We'll just not required. Now effective aperture area. Effective aperture, AE. Let us see what is this. Now you can see an antenna, power direction of propagation of the wave, E field plane wave. Okay, direction of propagation is this. This is the antenna. Let us see what next is given in this slide. Okay. Now this is an aperture receiving the incident field. Okay, you know, PT, what is WI? WI is the power density of the incident wave. WI. You have studied about WI, no? W is power density. Power density, power per unit square. So WI is the power density. PT is the power delivered to the load. So naturally, the relation, what is missing is here, this one. It is an area. Because if it has to power, should be power per meter square into an area. And this AE is called the effective aperture. AE, PT by WI. Have you understood what is PT and what is WI? PT is the power delivered to at the input of the receiver. Real power. PT is the power delivered at the input of the receiver. WI is the incident power density of the wave, watts per meter square. You have come across this W earlier also. W. PT is the power delivered to the load. And the dimensions of AV should be meter square. It is an area, so it's called an area, effective area or effective aperture. So here we are considering antenna in the receiving mode. Here we are considering antenna in the receiving mode, which is incident. Incident power is falling on the antenna, and for this antenna, the power delivered to the load is PT for this incident wave. So when you relate these two, you get an area called effective area or effective aperture, and its dimension is meter square. Now can you derive this relationship? Can you derive this relationship? So you already know, because in the receiving mode, PT is half IT square RT by WI. Now you expand this ITU, so it is given by this. So maximum effective aperture is got, maximum effective aperture is when the PT is maximum. When PT is maximum, we get maximum effective aperture. When is PT maximum? Under conjugate matching. PT is maximum under conjugate matching. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So AEM, maximum effective aperture or maximum effective area, is BT square by 8 WI for conjugate matching. So all of you got this expression. So you may be asked to derive this expression, derive the expression for maximum effective aperture. So you have to write the antenna falling on the wave falling on, incidenting on the receiving antenna with the load, and you have to see, you have to derive the expressions for PT and so on, and conjugate matching, and then derive this expression. So it is not fully given in the slide, so I hope you can do it. Looking at the discussion of the transmitting antenna in a similar way, you can do it. Any questions? Can I go to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
So this is AEM under conjugate maximum effective area. Effective area is PT by WI. Maximum area is maximum effective area is PT max by WI. AEM is equal to, same slide, yeah. AEM is equal to lambda square. Now there is a relation between maximum effective aperture and directivity. AEM is equal to lambda square by 4 pi to D naught. If this derivation is not there in the slide, I will give it, I'll send it through WhatsApp, okay? AEM, this is a very important derivation. AEM is given by lambda square by 4 pi into D naught. AEM is related to directivity. So this is an important derivation. If it is not given in the slide, I will give it, I will send it through WhatsApp. Aperture efficiency, I think it's not given in this slide, okay. Aperture efficiency AEM by AP. What is AP? AP is the physical aperture. AEM aperture efficiency, EAP. AEM by AP. AP is a physical aperture. What is physical aperture means? Physical dimensions, area got by the physical dimensions of the antenna. AP is the physical aperture. AEM is the maximum aperture efficiency is EAP. AEM is less than AP. So EAP is always less than or equal to 1 for aperture antennas. For aperture antennas, AEM is less than or equal to AP. For wire antennas, AEM is much greater than AP, EAP is much greater than 1 based on the cross section of the wire. So we have not come across this. We will see if there is a numerical, we will, I think it is given in the book, we will see this. So if you take AE is different from AEM, okay? AE is the effective aperture. Lambda square by 4 pi to D, instead of D naught, we have this. So there is a loss contributing to polarization mismatch. That is this. There is a loss contributing to polarization mismatch. This is the GABS theta phi. Okay, there is a loss. So AE becomes this. So AEM becomes E naught into D naught, and this. So AEM is given by this expression. Final. If you want to find out give all the penalties. Now there is a penalty due to this mismatch. There is a penalty due to E naught. Okay, there is a penalty due to E naught. There is a penalty due to this thing ECD that is comprising of E naught. So if you take into account all the penalties, AEM will be this much. Any questions on this?
No, sir.
Hello, yeah. Yes. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
For aperture antennas, AE is less than or equal to AP. AP is a physical aperture. For an aperture antenna, 0 is less than EAP, is aperture efficiency, AEM by AP. Okay, we will stop here now. You can proceed with for the quiz. Any questions you have? How was this class today? How was the class?
Good, sir.
Polarization, I think today you are very clear. Almost whatever is required for you have understood. Polarization, linear, circular, elliptical, right? No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll take attendance now, and after that you can exit and you can answer the quiz within 5 minutes. At 11,
What is the timing?
11 a.m. No, 11 to 11:30.
Okay, sir.
Now it is what? 10:50. Almost 10 minutes left. Okay, I will take attendance, and at 11 o'clock I will send the question paper of the quiz on WhatsApp to the CRs, and CRs please send it to your section students. Okay. Hello? Yes?
Okay, sir. We'll send it on the WhatsApp group, sir.
Okay. I'll take attendance now. Recording will stop. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, welcome. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello.